All right, good morning, traders. Today is October 22nd, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I'm the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. That is the day trading service for the hit and run candlesticks family. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you for being following my content, liking my content, sharing kind words. Thank you for sharing the content. Special shout out to Bob Jordan, John Jordan, Kathy, Sarah Roasted. Appreciate that. Helping sharing the good word, help get the word out there for make some more profitable people here in this world. All right, so thank you so much. I want to thank all my paying subscribers here in the room. All right, I don't take that for granted. Try to provide actionable, profitable content every day. All right, let's drill down. Let's take a look at what happened yesterday. So this says 669.75. I'm pretty sure it's 670.25. Let's make sure one more time. Yeah, 670.25. All right, so we're going to drill down. We're going to look at what happened yesterday. All right, so my SPY pivot this morning, 670.75. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Diamond Dow made a new all-time high. SPY and FNGU made higher highs and higher lows, closing over bullish traps over their 17 EMAs. IWM made an outside day, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. QQQ made an inside day, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. SPY and QQQ closed with 2-hour uptrends and 10-minute bullish consolidation. Gold made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bearish trap, but over the rising 17. Silver made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bearish cross and under the 17. USO in a daily downtrend made a higher low and a higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the 17. UNG in a daily downtrend made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap and over the 17 EMA. US dollar index remains in an uptrend that resides inside of a bear flag and closed near the 98.88 area. SPY Max Spain for today, 670 with a put to call ratio of about 1.5 puts for each call. That expires at 4:15. Remember, index options expire at 4:15. Security options expire at 4. Let's go look at some charts. Okay, first chart we'll look at is SPY on the 10-minute. Okay, 10-minute, not an uptrend, not a downtrend, just bullish consolidation right here. So up and over to the right. Same with QQQ. Okay, not an uptrend, not a downtrend, just bullish consolidation up and over to the right. I would be looking to trade a breakout of this channel either to the upside or to the downside on both QQQ and SPY. On the 2-hour chart for both of them, we got the 3 EMA and the price candles riding up on top of the 8 EMA. Okay, so that you got daylight between the 3 and the 8. That is a 2-hour uptrend on QQQ. And you can see SPY has the same thing. Okay, 2-hour uptrend. On the daily chart, okay, QQQ, higher low, higher high. Excuse me. SPY, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Okay, QQQ on the daily chart. Inside day, lower high, higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the rising 17 EMA. Both are in uptrends, daily uptrends. Both are at the top of quadrant 4. That makes them bullish and in uptrends. Okay, see here, SPY, bullish and in uptrends. Both are still in weekly uptrends. Both are still in monthly uptrends right there. Okay, QQQ showing some cracks. Being since QQQ on the daily chart, been up here twice, still couldn't produce a higher high. Find that disturbing. All right, there's no reason for that. I think if they want a higher high, they can get a higher high. But I got to tell you, I'm seeing cracks in what's going on between the technicals and the price action in the technology sector, mainly QQQ, because QQQ pretty much every rally begins and pretty much ends with technology. All right, I mean, when technology is done, all right, it's pretty much over for me, anyways. All right, so for me, when QQQ stops making new all-time highs, maybe some other stuff will catch up and go further, but when I see QQQ no longer making new all-time highs, that rally's pretty much over for me. So both QQQ and SPY bullish and in uptrends. Diamond Dow, okay, new all-time high, that's bullish and in an uptrend. IWM, Diamond Dow made a new all-time high. IWM making an outside day, higher high, lower low, closing over a bullish trap over the rising 17 EMA. That's at top of quadrant 4. That's bullish and still in an uptrend. FNGU, still in this daily consolidation up here at the top of quadrant 4. Okay, that is bullish. All right, but still in a downtrend because they got a low, they made a lower low. So, but here's the deal: it's a downtrend that's not moving down. Okay, so it's not an uptrend, but it's not moving. It's a downtrend that's just not moving down. It's more like daily bullish flag, bullish consolidation. You can see they did this here for a long time. All right, and it encompassed 2 months right there. Maybe this is 2 months again. We'll see what happens. FNGU right now bullish, top of quadrant 4, and in a downtrend that's not moving down. So that's FNGU. All right, let's take a look at silver and gold. Gold falling out of bed. Lower high, lower low, closing under a bullish trap, but over the rising 17 EMA. That's still bullish and in an uptrend, even though it's not moving up. It's a pullback in an uptrend. All right, here's lower high, lower low. This is silver, closing under a bearish cross and under the rising 17 EMA. That is still bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, it's just a pullback in the uptrend right now. So this is bullish and in an uptrend. Top of quadrant 4, that's bullish up there. Okay, and an uptrend hasn't made any lower lows yet. Okay, so that's silver. Let's take a look at USO. USO still down here in the lower third. That's bearish and it's making lower highs and lower lows and in a downtrend. There's USO. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG still down here at the bottom of quadrant 1. That is bearish and has not made any higher highs in a long, long time and in a downtrend on UNG. Take a look at our technicals. This is the freaky day a couple days ago. Yesterday we kind of inked out some higher highs, all right, but notice the market breadth kind of dropped off. Still holding this bull flag nature right through here, but all in all did not surpass this there freaky stuff that we had the day before, T2101. I don't know what to make of that. I really don't. I'm just going to ignore it and look at the bull flag that we have, and the market is gaining in participation as we ink up higher and higher. Okay, that's a good sign for the bulls, but this is very strange. T2122. We spent the day in the buyer's chop zone. I kind of expected to be in the buy zone or the overbought zone. I guess the bulls just didn't show up yesterday. That's all I can say. But neither did the bears. If there was selling, there wasn't extensive selling. So price action just, again, camped out inside of the buy zone over the midpoint, still in a bull flag, and just chomped around inside there. I expected to be in the buy zone or the overbought zone. Instead, we got more consolidation. All right, so T2123, price action is It's in an uptrend because you can see we're making higher highs here. Okay, so that's in an uptrend. But this does not look like this. Okay, the pitch on this is very flat. The pitch on this is kind of steeper than the pitch on that. This is looking more like a bear flag. This is looking more like a rally. Okay, bear flag, that's a rally. Okay, this we're caught underneath the falling 200. If you look at it from the perspective of the all-time highs where we were up here, you can see that price is still down here in quadrant 1. So that's bearish on the 15-minute chart. We are in an uptrend that's not really moving up. Okay, so we're making higher highs here, little micro higher highs, but not really making any leaps and bounds. And we've been here before on the 3-bar chart. You can see where we did the same thing. All right, and then we finally melted up and got an uptrend going on, but it took us a while to kind of stem the bleeding right through there. Spent a lot of time going flat in this area here. All right, 3-bar chart. If you look at the 3-bar chart, again, we're down here in quadrant 1 from the perspective of the high to the pullback low. You find ourselves on the 15-minute chart. Remember, we're under the 200 SMA. On the 3-bar chart, we are still under the 200 SMA. Both 3-bar and the 15 are still down in quadrant 1, all right, which is in bearish territory from the perspective of the high to the pullback low. From the low up to the high, we're still up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish up there. So price action on both. The 15 is in an uptrend, but yet the 3-bar still has not made a higher high. All right, so we got a low, and they made lower lows. So the bigger time frame is in a downtrend right here, but still up in quadrant 4, which is bullish up there. And that's T21 23 right there, okay? Still caught underneath this flat 200 SMA. FNGU moving up, bull flagging over to the right. You can see this was the day before, the 20th. It was a bull flag up. Well, it was a rally up and then a bull flag over to the right with 10-minute or 15-minute consolidation. All we did was continue with that consolidation today, okay? Yesterday. All we did was move over to the right, okay? So bullish consolidation right there. We're starting to see consolidation under prior consolidation. That might be a bearish outlook, but we still haven't filled the bearish gap. And we're still, even with this consolidation tucked up right underneath this, we're still above a lot of this consolidation right through here. So we're still bullish, even in the pre-market right here. That's FNGU. All right, let's take a look at economic calendar, and let's talk about how we're going to trade this morning. Let's start off with Max Payne. Max Payne 670 for today on the SPY. 1.5 puts for each call that expires today. Earnings report we've got today. We had last night, we had Netflix report, and someone said they missed, and then I read something else that they did miss. I don't know what happened, but something fell apart there. On the 22nd tonight, we're going to have Tesla, SAP, and IBM, along with Lam Research. They're all going to report tonight. Tesla is $1.5 trillion. That is a market mover, so be prepared for, if we're still in this consolidation today, for price to break out. Okay, we got Thermo Fisher this morning, AT&T, GE Vernova, Amphenol, and Boston Scientific, all reporting this morning, all up over $100 billion in market capitalization. On Thursday, all right, in the evening, we're going to have Intel, that's 166 billion. Newmont, I think that's mining, 104 billion. and Norfolk Southern. That's railways. Okay, so they're all going to report this evening, tomorrow evening. Tomorrow morning we're going to have AT&T, Union Pacific, Honeywell, Blackstone, Lloyd's Banking Group, and Freeport McMoran. Okay, all going to report tomorrow morning. You can see AT&T, 258 billion. None of those are really market moving. Right there, they're not going to shred the Dow. Shred the SPY or the QQQ, but they will contribute to their sectors, either positive or negative. Right there on Friday. Procter & Gamble, 355 billion. Sanofi, 121 billion. HCA Healthcare, 101 billion. General Dynamics, 91 billion. Illinois Toolworks, 74 billion. All in the morning, all in various sectors. Procter & Gamble, obviously healthcare. Sanofi Healthcare, HCA Healthcare providers. General Dynamics, probably defense. Illinois Tool, that would just probably be retail. But right there you can see not price action, but market cap, not going to move the markets, but definitely impact their sectors, either positive or negative. Let's take a look at the U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar still in an uptrend, but moving flat in this bear flag. All right, that's been going on for at least a couple months now. Okay, this was the high. Right now, price closed yesterday right around 98.88 on the U.S. dollar. What else do I want to hit? Economic calendar. All right, for today. All right, we're still in the shutdown, so we might get reports. We might not get reports. All right, so MBA mortgage applications is 7. Atlanta Fed business inflation expectations at 10 o'clock. Petroleum report at 10:30. And that's it for today. For tomorrow, again, remember, we're still in the shutdown. Some of this stuff may be delayed or may be forgotten. Okay, jobless claims tomorrow, 8:30. Chicago Fed National Activity Index, 8:30. Existing home sales, 10 o'clock. Gas report, 10:30. On Friday, CPI is scheduled. That would have been the main event, but they're going to delay it. Okay, that was CPI scheduled for Friday at 8:30. PMI composite flash, 9:45. New home sales, 10 o'clock. Consumer sentiment, 10 o'clock. And a rig count at 1. All right, that's it for me, traders. Let's talk about how we're going to trade SPY this morning. My throat is so dry, so let's take a look at SPY. And I want the 10-minute chart. I want the one with some pre-market. Okay, you can obviously see we're in this huge channel. Okay, that's a bull flag. Whenever I have a bull flag like this, okay, I like to trade my bull flags like this. Okay, from the bottom to the top. Okay, from the bottom to the top. Okay, from the bottom up to the top. Bottom up to the top. Okay, from the bottom up to the top. That's how I trade my bull flags. Until one of them breaks, that's what I do. All right? I'm probably not going to touch this until I get a breakout. All right? Probably just going to stay put. I'll trade from the bottom up to the top until I get a breakout. That's a bull flag. That's how I always trade my bull flags. Just like that. From the bottom up to the top. And I'm going to do the same thing all day long today until I get a breakout to the downside or the upside. That's my plan for today. Okay, from the bottom to the top until I get a breakout. Now, when I get up here, I don't sell 100%. I sell 80 to 90% and let the other 10-20% ride. Okay, the longer we stay in this, the more it coils up, probably the further it's going to go. But that's what I do. I trade from the bottom up to the top. So that's my plan for this morning in trading the pre-market, the post-market, and the open market, is continue to trade this channel in this fashion until I see the breakout. All right? It just makes sense to me. Typical bull flags move up, and then they move over, and then they move up like that. And we're consolidating up at these highs. I'm looking for a breakout. So that's both QQQ and SPY. You can obviously see the channel lines in both of them. You won't need me to draw them. They're pretty much a straight line across. Okay? All you got to do is, all I'm going to be doing is buying the bottom and selling the top. All right? That's it for me for today. All right? I'll see you guys in about 35 minutes and we'll open up the markets.